Now at printing time, we're going to click on the button called Plot. And when you do that, this annoying thing might pop up. If you don't want to see it again, just say, "Don't show me this again," and click Continue to plot a single sheet. So what does plot mean? Well, plot is CAD talk for print. That's all. We're just saying we want to send to a printer. See, back in the day, before office printers were available, the way you would plot or create a drawing was you would go to a machine called a plotter. So this is over on YouTube. If you want to look it up, it's called Roland DXY 1150 Pen Plotter. A plotter was actually a tool that had a little pen, and it would go through and it would draw one line at a time. And then if you wanted thick lines, well, there were different pens. And if you wanted color lines, well, there were some colored pens. And the machine would go over and pick up the right pen, and it would come over and it would start adding the line work. Right? So what it's doing is it's drawing circles and arcs and lines, and it's kind of cool. I think it's kind of restful to watch it, but it's drawing just like a person would, except 100 times faster. And of course, it's using a CAD file to draw it. So this machine is called a plotter, and since this was the way that we made hard copies of drawings before office printers became widely available, we still call it plotting, even though what we're doing really is printing, right? So here's the plot dialog box, and this is going to control how we send our drawing to the printer. What I'm about to show you, you can actually find in the back of your course pack in Appendix A. So look for the section A1. An appendix is just some important information that applies to whatever you're reading. So the last page of the appendix at the back of your course pack contains simplified plotting instructions. So there are 7 steps that we take before we turn our CAD drawing into a printed out copy. And if you follow these 7 steps, eventually we do it 3 or 4 or 10 times, well then you'll understand how to do it and you'll be able to do it on your own. So let's go through those steps. Let's try to set this drawing up for plotting. The name of the plotter is the first thing we have to select, and normally if you're connected to a printer in a classroom, well, you'll use the printer connected to your classroom. Now if you're at home, you'll probably see the name of your printer here on this list. How are we going to print though and then get it to our instructor if we have to submit it? Well, if we have to submit it electronically and they want to print out, what you're going to do is you're going to go down the list and you're going to find where it says DWG to PDF. So we're going to save a file, a PDF file, which pretty much every computer and tablet and phone on planet Earth can open up. So for the name of the plotter, if we're not printing in the CAD lab, go down to DWG to PDF. And then second thing we want to pick is the size of the paper. So there's a long list of paper sizes here. We can go all the way to the very bottom of that list, and there's an elevator bar here. Go to the very bottom and pick 8.5 by 11. Okay, so the first thing we pick is the name of the printer. The second thing is the name of the size of the paper. The third thing is what do you want to print? And there are 4 options. AutoCAD defaults to display, so it's going to have display every time selected for the option. Don't use it. It's the worst option. You want to pick extents. Extents just means print everything I drew. Now if you look up here, this little box has been changing every time we made an adjustment, and it gives us a little preview of what we're going to get. So the next step, step 4, is pick on center of the plot. And do you see how that just jogged over a little bit? Right, so we pick the printer, the paper size, what do we want to print? Center the paper. This step here is pretty important. It says fit to paper, which means basically stretch my drawing to fill up the whole paper if it's little, or squish my drawing if it's really big to fit on the whole paper. So we're going to change that. We're going to uncheck this fit to paper option, and we're going to go in and say we want to print it 1:1. 1:1 just means 1 inch in the drawing equals 1 inch on the paper at printing time. And then our setting up here is set for none. You want to go down the list about halfway and find monochrome. Monochrome means black and white only. And yes, we do want to assign this to all the layouts. Okay. So those were 6 steps. Pick the printer name, paper size, what do you want to print, center the print, monochrome. Here is the scale. Here's the last step, and maybe the most important step is to preview what it's going to give you. So click on preview. And AutoCAD is a what you see is what you get printing system. So what I see on the screen right now is exactly what's going to print out. Now, if yours doesn't look like this, go back and review all those settings and make sure it's set up correctly. Okay? Chances are something wasn't set right. But you know what? You might have set everything right and it's still not showing anything, or only part of the drawing. So I'm going to hit the X up here, close that preview window, and I'm going to show you what to do just in case you did everything right and it's still not showing you what you want to see. So instead of extents, set it for window. Sometimes AutoCAD blows it and doesn't have the right extents, or it can't see the correct extents, so it gives you something stupid or weird or unhelpful. When you set it to window, here's what you're going to do. You're going to go out here and click, and you're going to move your cursor down, and you're going to go down here and click, and now you're telling AutoCAD, hey, print this much. And then when you do that, it will get your drawing, the things you drew, exactly where you want them. You could hit print from here, or you can hit the X and go back to the main box and then hit OK here. And that's going to start the process for printing the drawing. Now, right now, I have it set up to save a PDF, which means you need to save the file. So how about this? Why don't you save it in your B12 folder? Why don't you save it in the assignment folder? And you see it's already named it, right? It named the PDF file the exact same name that you saved the file as, and it added the word model at the end. So I think that's good. That'll work. Hit save. And then what should happen is Adobe Acrobat will open up, or maybe Microsoft Edge will open up, and it'll show you the file that it just saved, which is kind of cool. Okay, so now this could be uploaded or emailed to your instructor if they want a digital copy, but they don't want your AutoCAD file. Okay, that's how we save a PDF file from AutoCAD. Okay, I just double click the wheel to zoom the extents. I'll hit save one last time. It saves all the changes that we've done. If I go looking in that folder, I see there's a whole bunch of stuff in here now. Right, here is exercise 1, and here is exercise 2. And there's a couple of lock files in there because those files are still open. There's also a BAK file, a backup file. So AutoCAD makes backups when you are working on things, just in case the main file goes bad. So here is our B12 9A drawing that we just did. Here is the BAK backup for the B12 9A drawing. And here is the PDF file we just set up for that B12 9A drawing. I'm going to go ahead and close all of these files. And if I go back in that folder, take a look. See how all the lock files are gone now, right? Just the drawing file and the backup file and the PDF in the assignment folder. And then exercise 1 and 2 along with the backup file. Okay, and congratulations, you just completed your first perfect technical drawing.